Good morning, Ms. Latners.
Good morning.
I got good news. This is the last time you'll be testifying in this trial, Ms. Latners.
Poor Ms.
News
Latners.
for you too.
You're
My last week working.
on to retirement, Ms. Latners?
Yes.
Congratulations. Shout out to Ms. Latners. She's
Safe
been
to
a
say you've
trooper.
earned it. Ms. Latners, I'm going to approach you with what's been marked as 1 through 3 Victor Victor and a disc with 1 and 2 Victor Victor Alpha. And Ms. Latners, were you able to review the items on that disc?
Yes.
And is the documents before you and those discs, do you recognize them?
Yes.
And what are they?
Copy of the incident for that day.
And is the disc contain 911 calls that accompany those incidents?
Yes.
And are they a fair and accurate depiction of the CAD reports and 911 calls for those cases?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to tender into evidence 1 through 3 Victor Victor and 1 and 2 Victor Victor Alpha.
Those are admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Publishing 1 Victor Victor. Now, Ms. Latners, what is the date for that CAD report?
March the 12th, 2022.
And what is the APD incident number associated with that case?
220711320.
Now, Ms. Latners, what was the incident type description for this CAD report?
Type call is 25 and plain talk is gunshot fired.
What was the location for this gunshot fired call?
2837 Waters Road, Southwest Atlanta.
Is that zone 3?
Yes.
And is that beat 312?
Yes.
Was this a 911 call or officer generated?
911 call.
What time did dispatch receive this call?
4:11 p.m. hours.
And what time did the first unit arrive?
4:19 p.m. hours.
Now, Ms. Latners, if you turn to the bottom of page 2 under incident comments, or do you see the comment at 16:11, which is 4:11 and 50 p.m.?
Yes.
What does that state?
20 shots fired.
Jeez.
And Ms. Latners, is on that disc the 911 call associated with this March 12, 2022 shots fired call?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to publish State's Exhibit 1, Victor Victor Alpha, for the jury. Thank you, Your Honor.
Atlanta 911 operator 7943. What's the address?
Yeah, somebody's shooting over here. I live at 2832 Morris Road, and they had a big shooting over here. I don't know what's going on over there.
Okay, you said 2837 Morris Road.
Waters Road. It's on Waters Road.
How many gunshots did you hear?
Oh, but it had to be about 20.
Okay, we'll get a unit.
I don't know what. Excuse me.
We'll get a unit out there. Thank you.
All right.
Stopping publishing at 34 seconds. Ms. Latners, do you also have before you what's marked as 2 Victor Victor?
Correct.
What is the date for that CAD report?
March the 14th, 2022.
And what is the call type for or description for that CAD report?
50-person shot.
What is the APD case number associated with this March 14th, 2022 person shot?
220731882.
What is the location for this call?
Windsor Street Southwest at I-20 eastbound, Southwest Atlanta.
Is that zone 3?
Yes.
And is that beat 03.
Yes.
Now, Ms. Latner, who was or what was the source? Was this 911 or officer generated?
911.
Who was the caller?
Kevin Cheeseboro.
What time did dispatch receive Mr. Cheeseboro's call?
10:21 p.m. hours.
And what time did the first unit arrive?
10:29 p.m. hours.
Now, Ms. Latner, if you can turn to the incident comments on page 2, what is the first remark at 10:21:17?
It advised getting on I-20 near 56B Baker. Advised 70 on victim vehicle, red Nissan, Versa, subject been shot in his vehicle near I-20, Eugene.
Now, what is a 78 victim?
It's a lookout on that person or vehicle.
Now, Ms. Latner, what is the third line from the top that starts with 78 victim 25 and continues?
It's by 78 victim, 25.
Uh-oh, what happened? Max is having some issues, so we're going to skip ahead. Actually, before we do that, I know it's going to be real quick. I got to say thank you to all of y'all who sent in the super chats. Shout out to, okay, I read that one earlier for from Miss Burtz. Thank you for the 5 bomb. We had G-Dog for me says defense wants juror 56 to stay on the jury. He is biased towards towards the state. Biased towards the defense, and rightly so. Yeah. Terry in here with the 5 bomb. Thank you so much. Says the retired R. Kelly is thinking somebody's calling Kirk ready to stop and Jamal ready to lie. Amen. Oh, don't do that. Don't do him like that, Terry. Dang. Lady Bliss and G-Dog for me became a new member. Thank y'all for becoming new members. And thank y'all for the support. I'll be reading some more super chats later. Let's see what Max had going on. I don't know what he could have an issue with, but we're going to keep it moving. And shout out to Amy with the vlogs. Yeah, phenomenal RN. 56 getting on my nerves. She says, I know 56 is rolling his eyes. I just wonder what his verdict will be. I think we know. Y'all type free 56 in the chat.
Miss Latner's.
Free my boy 56.
Under the incident narrative, the third line from the top that starts with 78 victim 25. Can you read that and explain to the jury what that means?
It advised 78 victim. It's a lookout on a subject, 25-year-old male, unconscious, not breathing.
Oh my. Sounds like Officer Edwards when he was trying to break up that fight.
What occurs at 10:33:11 or 22:33:11 as read in military time?
They request the ambulance.
Not the ambulance.
And what about at 10:24 or 22:24:05?
Call advised there is a FedEx and at the King's Liquor Store near the location.
And Ms. Latner's, what about at 10:25 or 22:25?
The caller give out the victim plates tag number was TX, which is Texas, Robert King, Michael 9343.
And what about at 22:25:47 or 10:25 p.m.?
They give the operator a 7-8 on a victim, black male, black jacket.
In Ms. Latner's, what occurs at 22:30 or 10:30 p.m.?
They advise male not alert, conscious, or breathing.
And right after that at 10:30 and 43 seconds?
Someone advised his dispatcher they found the 69, which is a gun, under the passenger seat.
And what about at 10:34?
Found the 69.
They requested Hero to shut down I-20 eastbound to Windsor Street.
And what happens after that?
At 10:34 p.m., they confirm person is 48, which means person is dead.
At 10:33 p.m.?
Dang.
10:34 p.m.
Now, Ms. Latner's is the second item on that disc, the call
That's
from
tough.
Cheeseborough on this case.
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to publish 2 Victor Victor Alpha.
You may.
Atlanta 911, operator 7663. What's the address of the emergency?
I'm on the, oh my God, it's the I-20 West, I-20 East, damn, exit, what is this? Oh my God, I don't know what's that. If I give you an exit number, would you be able to find me?
Just tell him what happened.
EMS today?
I'm sorry?
Do you need police, fire, or EMS today?
It's an EMS, so basically I'm in
Also, Brody,
traffic.
EMS. You need an ambulance? Do you need an ambulance?
It's not me. It's for someone in a car.
Hold
They're
on.
sitting in a car and they're not
Dang, he hung up.
shot.
We were telling you to hold on for an ambulance.
EMS, what's the address of your emergency?
I'm unsure. If I gave you an exit number, would you be able to find it?
Yes, sir. Go ahead with it.
I think it's like exit 56B. It's like the I-20 West, I-20 East, how you get on to I-20 West, I-20 East.
So, do I have to, you're on Windsor Street trying to get on 20 West, or are you on 20 West getting on Windsor?
I think I'm on Windsor trying to get on I-20 West or East. It's like you can go either way. And essentially there's a car here, and someone in the car, he's not moving, and there's a gun hole in the door. And I'm not really trying to find out more, but that's basically what I deduce from the situation.
Okay, so give me 1 second, okay?
No problem.
Sounds awfully calm.
Oh,
give
my
me 1
God.
second. And you're on Windsor Street?
I
Like
think
you're
this
getting on
is
the 20.
Windsor. I think this is Windsor, 56B. I know I can kind of see on the highway, and I see like it says 57, like as the next exit. So I think it should be 56B.
Okay.
I just have a question. You're on Windsor, but you're seeing exit signs beyond the exit that you're at? How is that?
I'm sorry, what you say?
Are you sure you're on a surface street?
Am I sure I'm on what street?
You're on a surface street.
Surface Street.
What's a surface?
Yeah, are you on an actual street, or are you on like a middle street where you can still see the highway?
Oh, I'm sorry, I did not understand. I'm on the. Let me get in my car and figure out what street I'm on. Because I mean, the guy's not going
You
anywhere.
can also open up your Google Maps or your, whatever your phone uses for.
I'm gonna have to go around. He ain't moving.
What kind of car is it? What color is it?
It's a red Nissan Versa. Yeah, a red Nissan Versa. Yeah, his window is shot out. He's definitely
His
been
window
shot.
is shot?
Oh my God! Yes.
What kind of car is it? You stopped at the.
It's a red Nissan Versa.
Okay. Go ahead and open up your mapping system on your phone and tell me what street you're on, okay?
Okay, hold on. Google Maps. Oh my God, I want to get out of here now. I'm on Windsor. Yeah, Windsor.
And what's the crossing area?
It's literally when you're getting on I-20 or I-20 East or West, but it's close to Eugenia Street.
So Windsor and.
Sad, 'cause the person died 20 minutes later.
All right. And confirm your phone number for me.
352-215-19.
Fire department that's responding, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great point, Tone.
All right. And are you with the patient now?
I'm at the location now.
I understand that they're at the location. Are you with the patient? Can you see them?
I can see them in the car, yes.
Okay. And how old is the patient?
They don't know where to send
He's
them.
probably
Phenomenal.
early 20s. I would say younger than 25.
Okay, is he awake?
No, he's not awake.
Is he breathing?
I don't think he's breathing. I have not seen this man move at all.
Okay, give me
I do
1
not think he's
second.
breathing.
Atlanta 873.
What would y'all do?
27 Delta 1G.
I'm 7663. 7663.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wow.
I do need to ask you a few more questions, Kevin. If you don't know, it is okay to say you do not know, okay?
Okay.
Is the assailant still nearby?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I didn't see the assailant.
Is there any serious bleeding?
I'm not getting that close, so I'm unsure. I can't confirm that.
That's okay. I'm sending the paramedics to help him now. Stay on the line, and I'll tell you exactly what to do next. Give me 1 second, okay?
Okay.
They didn't make it.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Are you able to? I do need to ask. Are you able to assist in getting him out the car and starting CPR?
Ma'am, I'm not.
It's okay if you can't. I just have to ask, okay?
I can't. I'm sorry.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
Okay, sir, can you tell me if there's any businesses or residential or anything that you see near you guys?
There's a FedEx, and a liquor store. So there's a FedEx.
Name of the liquor store.
The name of the liquor store. King's Liquors. King's Liquor.
Looking like LAKINGS.
KINGS. Yeah, liquor.
Okay. Okay, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
What's your last name, sir? Kevin, what's your last name?
Cheeseboro, CHEES, B as in boy, OROUGH.
Thank you.
This is so sad, man.
Okay. Again, help is on the way for him, and I'll just stay on the line with you until someone gets there, okay? Are you comfortable with doing that?
Do I have to stay here? I'm like...
Sir, before you leave, can you read me the license plates on the vehicle, please? As long as you're not placing yourself in danger, I'm ready. What state is it from?
You say, what state is the license plate from?
Yes, sir.
One moment. I'm walking back to the car. I had kind of walked away for a minute.
All right, don't place yourself in any danger.
Yeah, this got to be so traumatic. I
The
mean,
license plate is from Texas.
as the responder.
And do you want, hold on. You want the license plate number?
Yes.
R as in Robert, K as in Kilo, and then M as in Mary, 9343.
Thank you. And is that man black, white, or Hispanic?
He's a black man.
What color shirt is he wearing? Can you tell?
It's a black jacket.
Black jacket. Anything else? Anyone else in the car?
No, no one else is in the car.
Did you see or hear any gunshots?
No, I had pulled up to the stoplight and I realized he was not moving. So I'm just kind of nosy and I'm driving and I'm looking and I see that he looks like he's like immobile, like asleep. So my conscience was like turning back around. So when I turned back around, that's when I realized like, okay, there's a bullet hole in his door.
Got it. Well, I hear the sirens in the background. Can you tell us if that's fire, police?
Fire truck.
Okay.
Oh, fire is on scene? Okay. Okay.
Did they stop with the patient, sir? I don't hear the sirens anymore.
I think they're turning around. I think they had to make a U-turn.
Are you able to flag them down without placing yourself in danger to guide them to the patient?
I'm about to do it now because they probably wouldn't. I'm not sure if they would be able to get, but I'm about to.
Don't place yourself in any danger.
Yeah, he got shot, I think. Like I pulled up and he was right here, like, no problem.
Was that the firefighters or the police?
That's the firefighters. Now I think they got on the highway. Oh my God.
Were you talking to a firefighter or you were talking to someone else, the female in the background?
The police is here now.
Okay, let the police take over. Thank you so much for even taking out the time to report it. We greatly appreciate the call, sir.
No problem. Thank you so much for assisting.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now, Ms. Latners, that third CAD report, is that 2 days after this March 14th 911 call we just listened to?
Yes.
What is the address for what's marked as 3 Victor Victor, the March 16th, 2022 CAD report?
2830 Waters Road, Southwest Atlanta.
Is that address the same address from 1 Victor Victor?
Well, the first one was 2837. This 2830.
Both Waters Road?
Yes.
And Ms. Latners, what is the APD case number for this March 16th, 2022 CAD report?
22-075-0015.
That's sad.
What was the time that APD received? And let me ask you this first. Was this a 911 call as well or officer generated?
And y'all have to be, this is a good question by Loki. Why didn't they tell him how to do CPR? You have to be aware of the Good Samaritan laws in your state, and some instances even in your county. In some states, like, you have to render aid in certain areas. You don't have to. It just depends on where you are. So you're not legally responsible to help everyone. It just depends on your state and your county. And the laws can differ drastically or dramatically, I think is the word I meant to use. Yeah, but depending on his injuries, CPR might not have saved him. It depends.
The 911 call as well or officer generated?
911 call.
And what time did dispatch receive that call?
12:08 a.m. hours.
And when did the first APD officer arrive on that scene?
12:10 a.m. hours.
Yeah, if he didn't want to help, then.
And what time was this call cleared?
It's unfortunate.
4:19 a.m. hours. I'm sorry, she's en route. Let me see.
Is there a time where it says route closed?
It does say route closed at 4:19 a.m. hours.
In some cases,
Ms.
phenomenal.
Latners, do you see the incident comments?
Yes.
At 0008 or 12:08 a.m., what does that state?
It advised, heard a lot of gunshots in the area and saw a dark color SUV speeding away. No further.
And what about at 14:40 or 12:14 a.m.?
Univise 2830 has several shell casing and damage.
What about at 12:33?
Advised one detained.
And at 12:37 a.m.?
They asked for a 6-7. A 6-7 means they don't want anyone talking on the radio because they found something, so they need everything quiet during that time.
In Ms. Latner's, shortly after that at 37:47 or 12:37 a.m.
Univise 2 additional detained.
And what about at 12:40 a.m.?
They advise 6-7 is lifted. People can go start back talking on the radio.
One brief moment, Your Honor.
Yeah, and if y'all really want to go down
Thank
a
you, Ms.
rabbit
Latner.
hole,
No further questions from the state.
Their defense questions.
I'll leave it alone.
Mr. Weinstein? No, Your Honor. All right, thank you, Ms. Latners. You are excused and released, I believe.
She can be permanently excused,
You are
Your Honor.
released. Congratulations on your retirement.
Shout out to Miss Latner. She retired. She did her time. Good for her.
All right, call your next witness.
Congratulations.
Does everybody how long is your next witness going to be?
About 20 minutes.
Okay, let's do another witness unless anybody's desperate for a break right now. All right. Go ahead.
Now, I was just going to say, if y'all want to really go down the rabbit hole of Good Samaritan laws, you really should, especially in your state, and see what the laws are. I mentioned in South Carolina, where I used to live and had a concealed weapons permit. They go over a lot of the Good Samaritan laws and things that you can do, things you can't do. For example, as I mentioned in the chat, like if you hear someone yelling or screaming, it seems like they're in danger, being able to run up into their house. It's very interesting. So I suggest y'all definitely look into that, because you just never know the situation you could find yourself in, just to know from a legal standpoint what the laws are where you live. It gets crazy out here, though. You'd be surprised at some of the laws. I learned a lot, again, when I served on the grand jury here in Fulton County, about some of the laws here. Crazy. Make sure y'all vote in the poll too. We got 1,500 people in here. Thank y'all for liking the video. Over half of you liked the video. Thank you. 2/3 of you. I appreciate it. G-Dog, it depends. It really depends on the situation.
You swear to find testimony that you might get a quarter of the truth and all truth and what you said. You made me see. Can you state your first and last name with disclaimer on, please?
Kevin Cheeseborough, Kevin, Cheeseborough, Cheees, B as in boy, Orough.
Cheeseborough, that's a name right there.
Good morning, Mr. Cheeseborough. How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
I'm well. If you could just speak into that mic for me, okay? How old are you?
32.
And you can actually talk to the jurors over here, but speaking to the mic, I know it's hard.
Well, that man looked about 50.
And do you work?
Yes.
What type of work do you do?
I'm an administrative professional.
Goodness.
And did you do the same type of work in March of 2022?
Yes.
Where are you from originally?
Florida.
And how long have you lived in the Atlanta area?
3 years.
What area of the city did you reside in March of 2022?
West End.
Back in 2022, did you have a car?
Yes.
What type of car?
Kia Soul 2018.
You said 2018 Kia Soul?
Yes.
I want to direct your attention to March 14th, 2022 at approximately 10:20 p.m. Did you have the occasion to be in the area of Windsor Street and I-20?
Yes.
Okay. Why were you in that area?
I was coming from the gym and I missed my turn, so that was kind of the way that I was rerouting myself to get back home.
Okay. And where was your gym located?
Midtown, LA Fitness, Midtown.
And briefly, what was the route that you were traveling from the gym to go home?
Welcome, Siobhan.
I am not sure, honestly.
Were you traveling on the highway?
Yes.
Was that highway 7585?
I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not like the most familiar with the streets like that, but I want to assume yes.
Okay.
It was the highway, so yeah, it's a highway I take often.
When you missed your turn, do you remember where you went to try to turn around?
I do not remember the specifics, no.
Did you ever pass a BP gas station?
Yes.
Okay. When you passed the BP gas station, what, if anything, do you remember doing?
Was driving to get back on the highway after I passed the BP gas station, and that's when I noticed the car and I made the U-turn.
Okay. So tell me about when you noticed the car. Where did you notice a car at?
It was in I believe it was in the turn lane, far left lane.
And what color was the car that you noticed?
Red.
And when you first encountered the car, you said it was in the far left lane. Where was your vehicle?
My vehicle may have been either in the middle or the far right. More than likely, it was in the middle lane.
And at the time, when you noticed the red car in the far left lane, were you right next to that red car in the middle lane next to the red car?
I can't speak for certain. I do know the car was holding up traffic, but as far as the exact lane, I'm unsure. I'm sorry.
And when you say the car was holding up traffic, can you remember now approximately how many cars were out there at that time?
It wasn't completely holding up traffic, considering there were about 3 or 4 lanes.
Yo,
but,
y'all let this man live.
I would say roughly 10 cars.
When you noticed that that car was holding up traffic, what, if anything, did you do?
Well, I intended to kind of pass it by and go home, but they had their flashers on, their emergency lights on, and then they looked asleep. So before I got on the highway, I made the conscious decision to do a U-turn and check on them.
How far did you drive before you made the U-turn to come back and check on the vehicle?
I was actually about to get back on the highway, so I was making the turn to get back on the highway, and instead of making the turn to get on the highway, I hit the U-turn.
Once you made the U-turn, where did you go?
After making the U-turn, I pulled up next to the car just to see if they needed any help.
And when you said you pulled up next to the car, were you on the same side of the street that you were previously or on the opposite side of the street?
I cannot really confirm which side, because I did eventually end up, I remember being back on the other side, but actually, no, I was on the opposite side. I do remember I was on the opposite side. So I pulled up. If the car is facing this way, I was facing the opposite side.
All right. You have permission to approach? I'm going to show you what's been marked as 64 VV, 67 VV, and 68 VV. I want you first time if you recognize those pictures.
Yes.
First, starting with 64 VV, how do you recognize 64 VV?
Plot twist, he's the shooter.
The far right.
And do you also see in that picture the other
He's the
car
one
that
who
you
did
were
it.
speaking of?
Yes.
All right. And looking at 67 VV, how do you recognize 67 VV?
That's probably the view I would have had.
Put that other one down for me.
Sorry.
That's okay.
That's probably the view I would have had before I did the U-turn to get on the highway.
All right. And then 68 VV.
Just another view of the car, so looks familiar.
And do those appear to be fair and accurate depictions of the area where you were when you saw the red car on March 14, 2022?
Yes. I don't remember this debris on the ground, but that might be like a minor oversight. But other than that,
You don't
there's
remember?
a box on the ground like of debris or something like that. I mean, that's minor, but I don't remember that. But other than that, everything looks accurate.
Okay. Your Honor, this time the state would like to admit 64 VV, 67 VV, and 68 VV into evidence.
All right, those are admitted.
Permission to publish.
Yep.
First, I want to start with actually 67 VV.
Shout out to Billy. Says that he picked up some dude named Lil Woody hitchhiking. That's crazy.
BV, and it should be on your computer and on the screen behind you. Looking at the picture, are you able to tell or remember where you pulled up with your car when you first saw the red vehicle?
I was more than likely in the left lane, and then after the car wasn't moving, so I probably was more than likely held up by the car, and then I moved over to the right lane to pass the car.
Okay.
And going back to John's comment about people not wanting to help, John, this is going to sound terrible, and I know from you being one of our amazing service members here, it's gonna be hard to hear, but this is why people don't want to stop and help. Think about it. This man had to take time out of his day, ask off for work, say, hey, I got to go down to the courthouse and testify about this 911 call that I made and this dead guy that was there. And people don't want to be inconvenienced. It's sad, but it's true. Goodness.
So initially you were behind the red car. And when you said there were other cars out there, were there other cars in front of you between your car and the red car?
So there were initially, but due to the car not moving, they eventually ended up going around until
there you
I
go,
was
John.
behind the car.
Okay. And when you said you went and made the U-turn, and I believe there's a stick to the side of you. If you can stand up for a moment. And just show the jury where you went to go make the U-turn.
It would be actually past these cylinders right here to get on the highway, where this light is right here.
And when you were driving, before you decided to make a U-turn, would you have been going westbound on I-20?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Now showing you what's been admitted as 64 VV. Looking at 64 VV, do you see your vehicle?
Yes.
And is that your vehicle on the right-hand side of the photograph? The single car on the right-hand side of the photograph?
Yes.
All right. And is the red car, the first car, in the picture on the left-hand side of the vehicle?
Yes.
All right. Now, once you
all those people, he's the only one that stopped.
Your vehicle. Please continue. What did you do once you stopped your vehicle and exited your car?
So I vaguely remember. It's been a few years, but essentially, I got out the car. I walked around the car. I was going to knock on the window, but then that's when I noticed the glass was shattered. So when I noticed the glass was shattered, that's when I called 911 for assistance.
Did you call anyone else besides 911?
Before 911, I doubt, no. If anything, it would have been my brother, but I doubt I called him before. I did call him after, but not before.
Okay. Once you saw the shattered glass, did you see anything inside of the vehicle?
No.
Did you see anyone inside of the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Where was the person who was inside of the vehicle?
Driver's seat.
Okay. And if you can describe to the jury, how did he appear in the vehicle? I'm sorry, was it a he or a she?
He.
How did he appear inside of the vehicle?
He actually looked asleep. I didn't notice any blood or anything. He just looked asleep. But considering the glass was shattered, I figured something might have been wrong.
Okay. Permission to approach, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm showing you what's been marked as 69 VV, 70 VV, 72, and 76 VV. Take a moment and look at those. Tell me if you recognize these.
Yes.
Okay, how do you recognize those?
Well, the first picture I don't really recognize because, well, when I say that, I didn't open the passenger side door, so this view is not technically familiar to me.
Okay.
For the other 3 pictures, I would definitely say those views are familiar to me.
So, looking at 69 VV and 70 and 76, 72 VV around the state would like to admit 69, 70, and 72 VV.
Okay, those are the 3 that he recognized?
Yes.
Okay, those are admitted.
First, looking at State's Exhibit, publishing State's Exhibit 69 VV. Now, look at 69 VV. Is that the view that you had once you exited your vehicle?
I shouldn't laugh. It's terrible.
Yes.
When you say somewhat, tell me what do you mean?
This view would put me kind of in the pedestrian crosswalk, and I was a little bit behind the car.
So your car is further to the right of this picture?
Yes.
Okay. And when you got out of your car, did you walk back towards the car in the direction of the car?
Yes.
All right. Looking at 70 VV. And then 72 VV. Is that the shattered window that you just referenced that you saw when you approached the vehicle?
Yes.
Now, when you approached the vehicle, how did you see that the victim looked asleep?
Well, they just were leaned over, so I got out my car, and then I approached the vehicle, and then I noticed they were kind of just like leaned over. So that was my
slumped. The streets call it
signification that they were maybe asleep until I noticed the window.
What side of the car did you approach when you saw that he was leaned over and looked asleep?
Considering where my car was, I'm going to say the driver's side. I'm not 100% certain, but I would assume that I would approach on the driver's side, considering where I parked.
Wait, Lloyd said he just tied.
Once you saw him inside of the vehicle, what did
That's
you do
messed
next?
up.
Well, again, I didn't notice any blood, so I thought he was asleep. I think I just kind of continued to survey the car, and then that's when I looked through the driver's side window to the passenger side window and noticed that it was shattered. So then that's when I called 911.
Mm-hmm. And after you called 911, did law enforcement arrive?
Yes.
Did the ambulance arrive?
Yes, I'm assuming so. I don't remember vividly, but yes.
And once law enforcement arrived, did you speak with them about what you just told the jury here today?
Yes.
Court's indulgence for a moment. No further questions.
All right, are there defense questions?
Yes.
Go ahead.
About 67 dB. Mr. Cheeseborough.
Yo, Amy,
Good
that's
morning.
crazy.
My name is Max Shard. I represent Shannon Stillwell, okay? I just have a couple questions for you. Okay. I'm sorry. Miss Knight, could you please pull up 64 VV? Okay, thank you.
Y'all are brutal.
Mr. Cheeseborough, just briefly, this, to your recollection, you've identified your car. Is this the moment that you parked and are exiting your car to check on things, essentially?
Yes.
Okay. The red car that you checked on, in this photo, it appears that the car is essentially
When you came across this car, was the car in the crosswalk as it is in this photo?
I would assume so because at this point there would have been any interference. So yes.
Okay.
Safe to say that it was in the crosswalk.
Okay. While you were there, did you see the red car, not your car, the other car that you were checking on, move at all, forward or back?
No.
Okay. And lastly, when you checked on the car, if you know, did you know whether the car was on or off?
I do not recall.
Do you have any knowledge about whether the car was in park or drive?
I do not recall.
Do you have any knowledge whether the gentleman that was in the car, whether his foot was on the brake or if the car was merely in park?
I'm not sure what gear the car was in, but I feel like I do remember his foot being on the brake.
Okay. All right, thank you. I have no further questions.
Ms. Weinstein, anything for you?
What was that, Max?
All right, any redirect?
No.
All right, Mr. Cheeseborough, thank you. You are excused.